let's talk about tumors. So tumors are formed when you have cancer in a specific tissue. So tumors are classified as the uncontrolled growth of cells that kind of cause a lot of problems. So tumors are typically classed into benign and malignant, which is also similar to saying non-cancerous and cancerous, which is kind of non-intuitive because you think all cancer is cancerous, but cancerous cancers are different than non-cancerous cancers. So, cancerous tumors are defined as being able to spread into other tissues and therefore grow new tumors in those tissues, whereas non-cancerous tumors tend to stay in the same area that they originated in. That's the same with benign and malignant. Benign tumors are typically slow growing and tend to stay in that one singular tissue or organ, whereas malignant tumors don't have defined borders. They're very fast growing and like to spread quite a lot into other tissues and organs. This is the process of metastasis, where new tumors are formed in new tissues that the original tumor was not found in. Now, benign tumors are typically described as not being dangerous and being less serious. However, they still do have quite a few risks and can be dangerous if they're in specific areas. Now, benign tumors, while they don't spread, they do grow, and that can cause quite a few problems, especially if they're in sensitive areas like the lungs, where they can impede airflow and oxygen exchange and mess with your breathing, in which case they need to be removed in order to make you be able to breathe better. There's also a significant risk of benign tumors, especially in the brain. If they're in the brain and skull and brain case and all that, they can cause a lot of problems by growing and increasing the pressure in your brain, which causes a lot of problems because your brain is inside your skull, which is very hard and does not allow for expansion. So if there's a fast-growing mass of cells, there's nowhere for that cell to go, so it tends to compress your brain inside your skull and increases the pressure, which can cause so many problems. So while malignant tumors are typically considered to be more dangerous, and in most cases they are, benign tumors still can cause quite a few problems if they're in an unsafe area, such as the brain, spinal cord, lungs, all that. Now, there are also primary and metastatic tumors. Now, primary tumors are found in the original tissue of origin. So if I have, for example, a lung tumor, it just grew in my lungs because maybe I smoked 20 packs for the past 8 years. I don't smoke, don't do drugs, kids. But say I developed a bunch of lung cancer tumors in my lungs from smoking. Those are primary tumors. They started in the lungs. That is where the cancer came from. That is where it kind of is hanging out right now. Those are primary tumors. Now, let's say those tumors then spread to my brain because they're malignant, and why not? So those are now called metastatic tumors, where tumors start in one specific tissue, in this case being lungs, and then they spread into another tissue because they're malignant and they decided they don't want to be in the lungs anymore, and in this case spread to the brain. Those would be metastatic because they don't come originally from the brain. The cancer is not originally brain cancer, it is originally lung cancer. Then cancers are further classified based on the tissue that they're in. For example, cancer in the lymph nodes and lymphatic system is lymphoma, or cancer in the glial cells in the brain is glioma. And then so on and so forth until you basically have your entire classification of tumors. So that's just a little bit about tumors, tumor formation, and the different types of tumors.